He's from Joppatown. Centennial. And North County meet today on It's Academic. Hi everyone, I'm Dave Zarin and welcome to It's Academic. Nice to have you with us today. Let's get to our opening round. We give our teams 100 points to start. In this opening round, teams 10 points for each correct answer, 10 points off should you miss. Our category is called Sin No More. I hope you won't feel guilty here because these sins are all about sin, all kinds of sin. See if you can identify the following. We begin. The wilderness of sin is mentioned in this second book of the Bible, Centennial.
Exodus.
Yes, ma'am. Next, of the 7 deadly sins, this one begins the title of a Jane Austen novel. Centennial.
Pride.
Pride, yes. The Saint Who Sinned is a biography of this influential Russian monk. Centennial.
Rasputin.
It is Rasputin. Impatience is a sin, wrote this author of The Castle and the Metamorphosis. Centennial.
No. Kafka.
Kafka is right. Sin plays a major role in this Hawthorne novel about his... Centennial.
The Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet Letter is correct. Sin strongly was the advice of this man who led the Protestant Reformation. Centennial.
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther is correct. Physicists have known sin, wrote this physicist who headed the Manhattan Project. Centennial.
Oppenheimer.
J. Robert Oppenheimer. And the last of the sin questions, the song One Night of Sin was recorded by this singer from Graceland. Centennial.
Elvis.
Elvis, he doesn't need a last name. Absolutely right. That's the end of our opening round.
It's Academic with David Zarin. It's Academic. Brought to you by Giant Food. Giant. Fresh ideas, great values. That's Giant. And by Morgan State University. Gateway to opportunity. Stairway to excellence.
And all of our teams today are vying for the chance to make it to the playoff matches where they'll join 2 other teams. And should they make it to the finals, they will be competing for $10,000 in scholarship money provided by Giant Food. Let's meet our first team of competitors from Joppatown, and Bernie and Shalyn and Stephen. Nice to have you here. Let's find out about each of you. Bernie, tell us about yourself.
My name is Bernie Schuler. I'm a 17-year-old senior. I am the treasurer of the senior class. I volunteer at Anita Light Estuary Center, and I'm a proud member of the Envirothon team. And I'd like to thank the cheerleaders, their coach, Mrs. Hoagland, the parents and the students that came out to support us.
You earned a lot of points with those people already, Bernie. Tell me what you do as a volunteer.
I'm a marsh mucker. I take care of the animals, and I do some outdoor activities with the kids.
A marsh mucker. Okay, I've never heard that term before. I like it. Shalyn, tell us about yourself.
My name's Shalyn. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Joppatown High School, and I'm the vice president of the Leo Club, the secretary of the student government, and I have a lead in the school musical. And I'd like to thank our coaches and our administration.
Very good. Tell me what role you're playing in the musical.
I'm Adelaide, and our musical is Gods and Dolls.
Wonderful. And it's nice to see you on set because you were an alternate before.
Yes,
correct?
past 2 years.
Wonderful. Nice to have you here on the set today. Stephen, tell us about yourself. Nice to see you back, too.
My name is Steve. This is my 3rd year here. I'm a senior at Joppatown High School. I'm an EMT with the Jopp Magnolia Volunteer Fire Company. I'm a member of the National Honor Society, and I'm the president of Venture and Crew 10, working on my Eagle Scout.
Wonderful. How long have you been an EMT?
Like 6 months now.
6 months. All right. Let's get to your questions. 20 points, no penalty should you miss. Joppatown, we begin. Look at your monitor. It's possum terrain. Check out this terrain and see if you can find the hidden name of what South Carolina fort where the Civil War began.
Sumter?
That is correct. Ground wheat for baking and a blossom. These are definitions of what 2 words that have the same pronunciations but different spellings.
Flower.
Flower and flower, yes. I saw the light bulb go off. Next, Arkansas, Arizona, and West Virginia. If you drove from Baltimore to San Diego, you'd pass through these states in what order?
West Virginia, Arkansas, Arizona.
Perfect. Next, Alexandria and Giza. These are 2 of the 3 largest cities in Egypt. Larger than both is what 3rd city that is Egypt's capital?
Cairo.
That is right. And the last question for you in this round, to the stars through difficulties. Here is the meaning of the Latin phrase that is the official motto of what sunflower state whose capital is Topeka?
Kansas.
That is right. That's the end of the round for Joppatown. takes you to 200 points. 200. And we move next to Centennial. They knew an awful lot about sin. I don't know why, so let's find out about Ari and Faith and Shyam. Ari, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Ari Seifter. I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'd like to thank the Centennial boosters for their financial support. And I'd also like to thank our friends and family for coming out to support us, especially my brother Mark, who came down from MIT. He was on the 2003 championship team for us. And Lisa Emmerling, happy 50th birthday.
Wow. Ari, you had all kinds of things to tell us. Thank you very much. Faith, nice to have you back.
Hi, I'm Faith Zhang. I'm a 16-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank the administration, especially Mr. Piper, our principal, our vice principal, Mr. Dorsey, who came out here to support us, and our coach, Mr. Eisenstein, who's been a great help.
Thank you, Faith. And Shyam, this is your first time on the show. Good to have you here.
I'm Shyam Srinivasan. I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'd like to thank our cheerleaders for coming out and our alternates, Creedy, Max, and Ben.
All right, and they were listening for their names, so you've done well there, Shyam. All right, here are your questions. No penalties, 20 points for each correct answer. On your monitor, please, the local psychic. Perhaps a psychic can help you locate, hidden in this phrase, the name of what mountain range that runs through Switzerland?
Alps.
Yeah. The Alps.
That is right. To recover from a wound and the back of the foot. Here you have definitions of what two words with the same pronunciations but different spellings.
Heel.
Heel is correct, yes. Hippie, carpetbagger, Minuteman. These three terms came into use at different times in U.S. history. Can you arrange them in chronological order?
Minutemen, carpetbagger, hippie.
Perfect. Utah and Ohio. Here you have two of the three states with four-letter names. Missing is what Midwestern state whose capital is Des Moines?
Iowa.
Yes. And lastly, I have no use for men who fail. This stern credo was voiced by what American industrialist who was himself very successful as the founder of Standard Oil?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
J.D. Rockefeller. That's the end of the round for Centennial. Well done. 280 points. And a lot of cheering out there for Centennial and Joppatown, and I know there are lots of cheers for North County as well. We welcome Victoria and Danielle and Eric. And Victoria, nice to see you back again. Last time you were sitting over there.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about yourself.
My name's Victoria Hill. I'm a 16-year-old junior. I'm involved on the Pom Squad, German Club, National Honor Society, and a choreographer for the theater company. And I'd like to thank our alternate, Tara Cuffia, for coming out to support us. She's been willing to go into the line of duty, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. You have a lot of poise, Victoria. You could be a television anchor woman. You're great. Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a 17-year-old senior at North County. I'd like to thank the SGA for providing our bus. I'm a member of the National Honor Society. I'm vice president of the Hispanic Honor Society. I'm co-editor of our literary magazine, and I do a couple of other things.
I don't know how you have the time. You seem pretty busy. What's the name of your magazine?
The Aurora.
Very good. All right. Eric, nice to have you here. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Eric Penn. I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank Principal Drazen for coming today. He's new this year, so it's nice to see him involved in everything.
And we'll bring him out a little bit later so everyone can see him. Thanks, Eric. All right, here are your questions. North County, look at your monitor, please. Eric entered college. Hidden in this sentence is the name of what starchy crop grown in paddies throughout Asia?
Rice.
Rice it is, yes. To exist and a busy, buzzing insect. Here you have two words that have similar pronunciations but different spellings.
B. Yeah, B.
Bean?
B it is, yes. Next, John Adams, Al Gore, and Hannibal Hamlin. These men all served as vice president, but not in this order. Can you rearrange them in correct chronological order?
Adams, Hamlin, Gore.
Yes, indeed. California and Oregon. Here you have two of the three contiguous U.S. states that border the Pacific Ocean. Missing is what state located north of Oregon and named for U.S. president?
Washington.
That is correct. The last question for you in this round. I've known many meat eaters to be more nonviolent than vegetarians. This is a surprising quote from what nonviolent vegetarian who led India to independence and was known as the Mahatma?
Gandhi.
Gandhi it is. That's the end of the round for North County. 200 points.
You know what I don't understand? What? Tipping. I mean, 18%, it's outrageous. Why do I have to pay someone else's employee for them?
Tell me about it. Look, someone gives me good service, I leave 10%, tops.
And how about birthday gifts?
Oh.
If someone is over 12, they're not getting one from me.
Me neither.
Doormen? Stiff 'em.
Our most popular paper products at new low prices every day. So you can pay less at the place you've always liked to shop. Giant.
Morgan State University. Man, do you know what kind of people sat here? Smart people. Real smart people. Architects and artists, scientists and engineers. Getting paid. Yeah, but getting paid making our lives better. They work with General Motors, Lockheed Martin, NASA. And they must have looked at the stars and seen themselves. Respect this land. This is where you go to get smart. Oh, my fault, man. My bad, my bad.
Get ready to see the stars of the show. Number one, all the way, hey, let's go.
And our thanks to the Joppatown cheerleaders. Nice job, ladies. Before we get back to our game, let's tell you what all of our students are taking home today. That would be tickets to a Baltimore Orioles home game, good throughout the season. And don't forget that every Friday home game will be $5 student night. Show your school ID at the box office and you'll get a ticket for just $5. Log on to Orioles.com for more details. Before we get back to our game, a quick check on the score. At this juncture, Joppatown 200 points, Centennial 280, and North County 200. All right, teams, in this round, a picture with each question. Look at your monitor for the picture-perfect questions. 10 points for each correct answer, 10 points off should you miss our first picture. Marc Chagall designed this stained glass window that depicts the dream of what biblical patriarch, the brother, Centennial.
Jacob.
Jacob it is, yes. George Catlin painted Native American man-dance doing a ceremonial dance named for what animal known as Taurus in the zodiac? Centennial.
Bull.
Bull was right. This figure was created by the Anyi tribesmen of what African country whose administrative capital and largest city is Abidjan? Centennial.
T-shirt.
Djibouti.
Ivory Coast was the correct answer. Next, simplify this expression giving your answer. Centennial.
16 plus 4, 20.
20.
It is 20. This windmill is not in Holland, but on what group of West Indies islands that the United States purchased? Centennial.
Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands, yes, from Denmark. Next, this 1804 painting shows Napoleon trying to decide whether or not to send his armies across what body of water? Centennial?
English Channel.
English Channel, yes. Next, if you had time to study this painting of an 18th century French salon, you'd find that one of the attendees was what author of The Social? Centennial.
Rousseau.
Rousseau, yes, The Social Contract. In the last picture, this summary painting has in its title the name of what summer month, the last full month of summer? Centennial.
August.
August.
Oh, no.
It is August, absolutely right. That's the end of the picture perfect round.
You know what I don't understand?
What?
Tipping. I mean, 18%, it's outrageous. Why do I have to pay someone else's employee for them?
Tell me about it. Look, someone gives me good service, I leave 10%, tops.
And how about birthday gifts?
Oh.
If someone is over 12, they're not getting one from me.
Me neither.
Doormen? Stiff 'em.
Our most popular paper products at new low prices every day. So you can pay less at the place you've always liked to shop. Giant.
WJZ's community commitment continues with the Black History Oratory Contest.
WJZ has proudly highlighted the talents of students in the oratory contest. Join WJZ on Sunday, February 18th, beginning at 1 p.m. at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum.
A lot of times, being a teenager means living with labels. If you're feeling overwhelmed by problems at school, at home, or anywhere else, you need to call the Girls in Boys Town National Hotline, 1-800-448-3000.
And our thanks to the Centennial Eagles cheerleaders. Nice job, ladies. Now let's meet some of the other important people at our schools, the faculty, coaches, and administrators. Let's go first to Joppatown, currently with 200 points. Shalyn, who is joining you?
This is our media specialist, Mr. Smirker, and we're very glad that he's here, and he's also our coach.
We're glad he's here, too. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And in the lead with 340 points, Centennial High School. And Faith, we see someone with an It's Academic tie back there, looking pretty sharp, and a shirt that says Eagles on your mascot. Tell us who they are.
Well, over here on our right is Mr. Dorsey, our assistant principal, and on my left is Mr. Eisenstein, our coach and sponsor.
Nice to see you both here today, gentlemen. And with 200 points, North County. Danielle, who is joining you today?
On my right, we have Mrs. Brewer, our sponsor, and on my left, Mr. Drazen, our principal.
Thank you both for taking time to be with us today. And in our next round of questioning, 20-point question, should our teams get all 8 correct, we award them 25 bonus points and light up their lights as we're doing there in front of Faith over there at Centennial. And Faith, would you please do the honors and pick packet 1, 2, or 3 for the Joppatown team?
Give him 1.
Give him 1, she says. All right. Bernie, Shalyn, and Stephen, these are for you. We begin. Even before the Declaration of Independence, the Continental Congress had created what armed forces branch whose motto is Semper Fidelis?
Marines.
Marines.
That is right. A chemist might want to visit an Oklahoma town named for what chemical element whose atomic number is 16 and whose symbol is S?
Sulfur.
Yes, ma'am. British General Howe won a promotion when his troops captured what Boston Hill that names an early Revolutionary War battle? Yes, please. That would be Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill. Look at your monitor, please. Coherent, focused, or polarized. A laser beam can extend thousands of miles without much dispersion because, unlike ordinary light, light produced by a laser is which of these?
Focused.
Coherent was the correct answer. Next, the mythical Paris made some powerful enemies when he bypassed Hera and Athena to award the Apple of Discord to what goddess of beauty?
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite is correct. If you found yourself on a London street named Bunhill Row, you'd be near the home of what English author who lived there while writing Paradise Lost? That would be John Milton. On your monitor, please, would you solve for X for me? Yes, please.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
Correct answer is 10. Last question for you in this round. As a mark of pride in its tribal heritage, a shield with crossed spears is depicted on the flag of what East African nation whose capital is Nairobi?
Nigeria.
Kenya. Kenya was the correct answer. All right, Joppatown, that's the end of your round. Takes you to 260. 260. All right, we move next to Centennial. We haven't given away the bonus points. Maybe it's Centennial's time. I'm going to ask Danielle to pick one of the 2 remaining packets, 2 or 3 for Centennial.
3, please.
3. All right. Ari, Faith, and Shyam, these are yours. Pennsylvania Indians used the term broadbrims to describe what peaceful religious group of settlers that included William Penn?
Yeah. Quakers.
Yes, ma'am. NASA is using high-resolution satellite images to map possible campsites used by what 2 men who set out in 1804 to explore the newly acquired Louisiana territory?
Lewis and Clark.
That is correct. To sail across the Atlantic, Thor Heyerdahl made a boat from the stems of what plant which the ancient Egyptians used instead of paper?
Papyrus.
Papyrus.
Yes, indeed. On your monitor, please, limestone, table salt, or cement. Sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid will react in equimolar amounts to form water, and which of those?
Table salt.
Indeed. Next, January 10th, 1920 marked the first meeting of what international peacekeeping organization that preceded the United Nations?
League of Nations.
Yes, indeed. There are almost 2 million references on Google to what Shakespeare play whose title character is an unhappy Danish prince?
Hamlet.
That is right. On your monitor, please, evaluate this expression, giving your answer as an integer.
18.
Yes, indeed. 25 bonus points should you get this one. Listen carefully. While deforestation is a serious problem in some countries, forests are thriving in what European country whose capital is Kiev?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
It is Ukraine for 25 bonus points. Congratulations, Centennial. Takes you to 525. All right, some smiles at Centennial. Let's see if North County can smile. Let's see if you can repeat that. I have 1 packet of questions left. Packet 2, so Victoria, Danielle, and Eric, we begin. According to the book of Genesis, the first leaf that the dove brought back to Noah's Ark was from what tree whose branches are now a symbol of peace?
Olive.
That is right. Lafayette didn't give George Washington the key to the city of Paris, but he did give him the key to what Parisian prison stormed on July 14, 1789.
Bastille.
Indeed. Next, the largest state east of the Mississippi River is what state where General Sherman made his march to the sea during the Civil War?
Georgia.
Yes, indeed. Look at your monitor, please. Mercury, iron, or carbon. Both the hardest and one of the softest minerals are made from which of these elements, differing only in the arrangement of its atoms?
Carbon.
Carbon is the correct answer. Welcoming visitors since 1066, says a cheerful sign near the English town whose name identifies what famous battle won by William the Conqueror in 1066.
Dover.
Hastings. Hastings was the correct answer. Next, James Bond thwarted many villains all by himself, but Sherlock Holmes had what constant companion to share his victories over the criminal world?
Watson.
That is right. On your monitor, please. What is the value of x in this equation?
Four.
Correct answer was 2. Last question for you in this round. When Edmund Hillary's expedition reached the top of Mount Everest in 1953, they flew the flags of Great Britain, India, and what third country whose capital is Kathmandu?
Nepal.
Nepal it is. That's the end of the round for North County. Takes you to 320. 320. Welcome to another year of the Giant A-Plus Bonus Bucks program. From now until April 1st, you'll be able to earn points and help local schools every time you use your bonus card. Thanks to you, Giant has been able to award over $71 million to more than 3,900 schools over the last 16 years and has already committed $2 million to this year's program. Signing up your schools is easy. Simply go to giantfood.com or stop by the customer service desk at any Giant store. Be a part of the magic of A-Plus Bonus Bucks and let thousands of local kids know they've got a Giant on their side.
You know what I don't understand?
What?
Tipping. I mean, 18%, it's outrageous. Why do I have to pay someone else's employee for them?
Tell me about it. Look, someone gives me good service, I leave 10%, tops.
And how about birthday gifts?
Oh.
If someone is over 12, they're not getting one from me.
Me neither.
Doormen? Stiff 'em.
Our most popular paper products at new low prices every day. So you can pay less at the place you've always liked to shop. Giant.
And we have a great crowd today. They're all cheering for their favorite teams, and it's a great game. Before we get to the grab bag, a round in which anybody can win, a recap of the score. At this juncture, Joppatown has 260, Centennial 525, and North County 320. All right, teams, in this round, 20-point questions, 20 points off. Should you miss, the visuals are 30 up or 30 down. We begin. A fantasy novel by Terry Brooks describes in its title a black variety of what mythical animal? Centennial.
Okay. Unicorn.
A unicorn it is, yes. Charles Dickens originally planned to use the title Mag's Diversions for what semi-autobiographical novel whose characters include Uriah Heep? Yes, Centennial.
David Copperfield.
Oh, yeah.
David Copperfield.
It is David Copperfield. Diamonds reflect many colors, but they're measured in what units whose name suggests? Joppatown.
Carrots.
Carrots.
Carrots, yes. Here's a 30-point question. Look at your monitor. Coffee was originally prepared as a food, not a drink, in what African country whose capital is Addis Ababa? Centennial.
Ethiopia.
Yes, ma'am. The Flavian Amphitheater is another name for what's still standing. Centennial.
Coliseum.
It is the Coliseum. At 6 cents per kilowatt hour, how much would it cost to run a 500-watt appliance for 3 hours? Centennial.
Nine. Just say
9.
9. Give me a denomination.
Cents.
That is right, yes. Next, there's no denying that State of Denial is another bestseller for what journalist who first... Centennial.
Journalist.
Tom Clancy.
Okay, just say.
Oh, student.
Yes, please.
Oh, crap. It's
Tom
Woodward.
Woodward.
Woodward it is. Bob Woodward is the correct answer. On your monitor, please. My country is the world. This global viewpoint was expressed by what white 19th century abolitionist, editor of a newspaper called Centennial?
Garrison.
Garrison, yes, his paper was The Liberator. Next, during the French Revolution, there was an attempt to establish decimal time, which, as the word decimal suggests, would create a clock with Centennial.
10.
10 hours, that's right. Here's a choice. As the atomic weight, the buzzer has rung. That means our game is over. We will be right back.
Morgan State University. Man, do you know who walked these halls? Graduates went on to become mayors, senators, CEOs.
Leaders.
Leaders. They became leaders.
Players.
You don't walk these halls to follow. You walk these halls to lead. This is where you rise to the top. This is where I become a man. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even cause heart attacks and strokes. Not to mention something else they can do to a guy's body. Find out more about the dangers of using steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
And we welcome you back. Our scores for today's game are now official. First, we'd like to congratulate with 280 points, Joppatown High School, Bernie and Shaylin and Steve. Nice job today. Next, with 320 points, our congratulations go to North County High School, Victoria and Danielle and Eric. Nicely done. And with 705 points, they're headed to the playoffs. It turns out they knew an awful lot about sin and everything else today. With 705 points, our congratulations to Centennial High School. Ari and Faith and Shyam, congratulations. And we invite you to tune in next week. We will have another matchup here on It's Academic. We'll be featuring Aberdeen, South Carroll, and Walkersville. I hope to see you then. I'm Dave Zarin. Thanks for joining me. Audience, come on down.
WJZ's community commitment continues with the Black History Oratory Contest.